Hey you, Sheba Nyabuto here. I hope this finds you well and welcome to Tech Savvy. So, this is our second video in the InDesign tutorial. Hoping that you've already watched the first one, and if you haven't, please go back to my channel and look at the video so that you can be able to learn the basics of InDesign even as you begin this tutorial. And please, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe for more videos and also turn on the notification button so that you can be notified once a video goes up on my channel. So in today's video, we are going to learn the basic tools that help you navigate through InDesign. In the first video, we talked about the basics of InDesign, generally the basics, but in today's video, we are going to look at specifically the basic tools that can help you navigate through InDesign. So welcome. Earlier, we're going to look at majorly four major tools. They are quite a number. If you look at this tools panel, they are quite a number, but the major ones that help you, that you use often in InDesign, there are four. You have the selection tool, the type tool, the rectangular frame tool, and the shapes tool. So we're going to look at how these four tools can help you as a designer or as a beginner navigate through InDesign as you either design your book or your flyer or your poster or your banner or whatever it is that you are working on in InDesign. Those four major tools help you navigate through it. So the selection tool, as the name suggests, it's used for selecting tools. For instance, let's do a practical example. I want to place a document into my, let's say we are taking chapter 5, let's import this. So this is our chapter, this is our chapter 5. So if I want to select, if I click outside the page, you'll see that there's nothing showing that this page is selected or this chapter has been selected. But if I want to select that chapter, I'll come to the selection tool. It's already highlighted because it's clicked on. So if I click on that, I come and click on this text box, you can see some tiny boxes, anchor points, showing that this text box has been selected. Now, the selection tool can help you move things from one place to another. For instance, if I want to move this text box out of the page, I simply click on it and then left click and hold and drag it outside. As you can see, I drag it outside. If I want to bring it back, I do the same. I click and drag it back. If I want to reduce the size of the text box, the size of the content within this page, within this page, I simply go to the bottom of the text box. You can see a rectangular shape here. If I put my cursor here, there are two arrows going up and down, an up and down arrow. If I want it to go up to reduce the size, I drag it up right there. If I want to increase the size of the text box, I simply do the same, but now the reverse version, I drag it down. There you have it. So that's one function of the selection tool. The next one is to scale your content. Let's assume you want the text box to be bigger. Maybe the text box to cover the margins of the book, of the page, So if I come to on my right to this side and put my cursor at the center and click and drag to the right, it increases. I can do the same here and here, here and at the bottom. You see, my text box has gone beyond the margins, and if I want it back, I simply undo what I just did, or do the opposite of what I just did, and it's back. So it's a scaling tool too. It helps you scale your content. The same works for an image. If you want an image to fit the page or whatever size that you want, you use that text box. Sorry, you use the selection tool to scale it. Let's get an image so that we can do practical stuff. This is my image, but let's assume I want the image to cover the whole of the bottom white space. So if I come here, and if I want a uniform scale, you'll come to the bottom side, bottom right, or yeah, the bottom right, and drag it so that you can be able to fit. If I undo that, you can do it manually. You can drag the same way we dragged the text box. You can drag it to fit whatever it is that you want. Okay, so this is also used to grab stuff within your page. Let's say you want to grab this, you just click on this and grab it. If you want to shuffle things, you can do that and bring your text box down here so that your words can be below the image, or whatever it is that you want. You can use the text box to grab stuff around. Yeah, so basically that is it. It's used to adjust the size of your content, either it's a text or an image. You use it to adjust the size or the scale. You can also use it to move stuff around within your page. Yeah, is the type tool. If you've watched my first video, the first video tutorial, then probably you've seen us use the type tool, and you've seen the option of, and you've seen two type tools that we used in the previous video. But the type tool, from its name, it's basically used for typing. So assuming you want to add content here, introduction to critical thinking, you come here. Let's assume that you have the selection tool active and you want the type tool to be active. You simply come to the type tool, click there, and then you come to your text box or your content, and if you click anywhere within that page or within that text box, then you can be able to type whatever it is that you want, having the type tool enabled. Let's say introduction to critical thinking. There you go. So your type tool enables you to type either new text, or you want to add more content, you can use the type tool. Secondly, the type tool is used to activate your text box or your content or your text for editing. For instance, if we have selected our page or our text box using the selection tool, there's no way you can edit. There's no option of you typing something or deleting something until you click on the type tool, and then you bring the cursor here, and then it enables you. So it basically enables you edit. As seen earlier, there are two types of type tools. If we right click on that, you'll see two: the type tool with a vertical T, and the slant type tool, written type on a path tool. This second one, the first one we've seen its use. The second one basically serves the purpose of typing on a path. That is, if I have a rectangular shape, if I have a rectangular text box, let's write it here outside the page, and I want to type on the circular path, I just right click there, select the type on a path tool, and then click anywhere within my circular text box, and then I'll be able to type over there. You see, it follows the path. It follows the circular path. So basically that is it for the type tool. It's used for editing or for texting, and also it is used to activate. It enables you to type. It activates the editing purpose. The third tool that we are going to learn about today is the rectangular frame tool. The rectangular frame tool is basically what I've been referring to as the text box. Let's assume I don't have text here and I want some text here at the top above the image. I come to my tools panel, come to the rectangular frame tool, I pick the rectangle, I click on that, I come to my page, I drag. If you've seen the first video, then you know how to do this. And then from there, once I select the type tool, I can be able to type whatever it is that I want to type. You see, there. There are also other frame tools. Basically, the rectangular tool creates borders where you want your text to cover, the limits of your text, so that it doesn't go beyond what you want. If this is the size of my rectangular tool, my text will be confined to this space. It won't go beyond what I have here. Yeah. We also have other frame tools. We have other frame tools. There is the ellipse frame tool that gives you a circular or oval shape so that you can be able to type along a path. We also have the polygon frame tool that enables you type to give you a text with that shape. Basically, these frame tools, the three frame tools, when you export your content, when you export your text, they are not visible. They cannot be seen in your exported video. So they are just frames, and your exported content doesn't have these rectangular shapes or the polygon or the ellipse frame tool. Yeah, it will just show the text. The frame tools are just used to show the limit of your text, the far that your text can go. Yep. The last tool that we are looking at in this tutorial is the shape tool. Basically, when I say shape tool and then you look at this, it's marked the rectangular tool. Probably you're wondering why I'm calling it the shape tool. All these tools, they show the recently used tool. The recently used tool. That is why for this, it's the rectangular tool, because that was what was recently used. But if I right click on that, you'll see the rectangular tool, the ellipse tool, and the polygon tool, the same tools that are within the rectangular frame tool. However, the difference between these two is that the frame tool, as stated earlier, when you export your content, the borders are not seen, they are not visible. But for the shape tools, when you export your content in PDF or as an image, the borders will be seen. Whether it was circular, the circular borders will be seen, the polygon shape will be seen, and the rectangular shape will be seen. If you look at this, if you come here at this top, you can see a 1 point. This means that the border size is 1 point. But if I pick the rectangular frame tool and draw one here, if you look at this, it's 0. It's basically, it means that the border it's just an outline. It won't be seen. It's invisible. It's just an outline within InDesign, but once you export it, it won't be seen. But for these others, they are 1 point each, and once you export them, they will be seen, the border will be seen. Now these tools, you can change, you can be able to add the color. If you want to add colors to that, you can add colors to your shapes. That is, if you want colored shapes, you can be able to add color to that. You see, all of them, any color that you want from the swatches panel, you can be able to add color and add beauty to your designs or whatever it is that you're working for. Okay, so guys, I hope you've learned the 4 tools: the selection tool, the type tool, the frame tool, and the shape tools. I hope that you'll be able to navigate your InDesign easily, and that you'll be able to create beautiful designs for yourself or even for others. So basically that is it, guys, for today. We've been able to learn the 4 tools from the tools panel. That is the selection tool, the type tool, the frame tool, and the shape tools. The 4 basic tools that help you navigate through InDesign, among others. So I hope that you'll continue learning. It's a learning process. It's something that doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't take a week or a year. It takes time. You learn each and every day. Each and every day you discover new things in InDesign. I cannot be able to say that I've reached the peak of learning InDesign, because today you get a new challenge and you realize, oh, I didn't know this, yet it's in InDesign, and you have to learn it. So it's a learning process, and I hope that you'll be able to learn, and one day, one time, you'll be able to create your own designs and even create designs for others. Thanks for watching. If you've not watched the first video, please do so, so that you don't miss out on stuff. And if you've not subscribed, please do click the subscribe button below and turn on the notification button so that you can get notified once a video goes up on my channel. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Oh, and comment below. Comment in the comment section. I'll reply to each and every comment. Thank you.